Good morning. I'm going to read verse 14, 15, keying on 16 this morning, just to get us contextually here in Philippians chapter 2. Do all things without grumbling or disputing, that you may be blameless and innocent children of God, without blemish, in the midst of a crooked and twisted generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world. Verse 16, holding fast. So you're doing this at the same time, right? You're guarding your attitude and you're holding fast to the word of life. Right here. Holding fast to the word of life. Holding fast to the gospel. Holding fast as you hold fast, so that in the day of Christ, which is the day of judgment, I may be proud, Paul says, that I did not run in vain or labor in vain. I don't know if you think about the people who have marked you in your life or not. I think about Russ Howard. I think about my friend Bill Eubanks. I think about a guy named Scott Rollison, right? I think about Charles Ryrie. I think about J.P. Moreland. I think about, and there's others I'm not even mentioning, that have just marked me in my life. Boulders upstream, older men that have just shaped my life in strategic ways. When I read Paul's words there, when he says, so that in the day of Christ I may be proud that I did not run in vain or labor in vain. When I read that, I am reminded of something that I don't think we think a lot about in the Christian life. Of course, you are playing to an audience of one, that is God. But you are like someone that receives a baton in a track meet, in a relay race, and you receive that. And as you run, if you drop that baton, you are saying something about the efforts of those who have gone behind you. I don't know if you think about your faithfulness as a faithfulness that has a kind of reflexive correspondence to those who have run behind you. That they didn't run in vain because you're not running in vain. That their efforts weren't for nothing because your efforts now aren't for nothing. That you are going to pass that baton on to somebody and they're going to run with it. And that they should glance back once in a while, not in regret, not in longing, but to look and say, thank you. And to look and say, hey, I'm going to press it forward. I'm going to run it forward too, because I'm going to live out the modeled faithfulness that was behind, so that multi-generational faithfulness can now come to fruition. So for me, there are times where faithfulness in ministry, I'm cognizant of people who have pressed in on my life and who have poured something into me. And I want to honor that. And of course I want to honor the Lord. But there's nothing unholy about the idea that I'd want to be faithful because faithful men have been behind me. Some of you had faithful women behind you. You've had faithful men behind you. I want to encourage you. You're part of a big story. So they didn't run in vain. Don't you run in vain. You pass it on. May the Lord encourage you as you run. Take care.